Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this week's meeting of Essex Business Forum.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Aidan Swan. I'm your meeting chairman. It's my job to get you through the agenda. I am, as always, ably assisted by my leadership team. And at this stage, I would ask them to be outstanding and introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Jane Mallion, Membership Coordinator Boss.
It's Miss Alan. Scott, you know that. Meeting Secretary, Keeper of Stats. That's the place to work there.
Good morning, I'm Paul Corrigan, I'm your Social Secretary. Social Secretary.
And this is my jacket, and it's standing in for Ben Golding. And I'm also standing in for Terry, so the flavour's probably covered. So thank you all, please be seated.
Thank you.
Let us therefore get on with the meeting. Performance league rules first. Scott.
Oh, yes, there we go. So, first week of the month recorded, second week is here. Positions at the top. One member's already done the 88 points required for the month, but then it's not on that. Yeah, I know. Who would have thought? But in third place, 64 points for Terry Manning. Probably won't be in third place next time. 65 points, one ahead of Terry. It's myself in second, at 98 points in just 1 week. This podcast, Paul.
Thank you very much, Scott. My role as Ben Golding, I introduce the education presentation. There's somebody here to present it, and I'll ask that person to be outstanding and present it. Thank you.
Just looking at this, why did I not print this in a bigger font, and then I wouldn't have found in my glasses? But I did. So since setting up business, I've been faffing around about how to sign off my emails because I can't decide what I like. And I've looked at lots of other people saying, well, you can't decide whether I like theirs or not, so I'll do a little bit of research about this. It says your email sign-off is like a handshake at the end of a conversation, so we all know how much you can get that wrong. You should make sure you use an appropriate sign-off based on your relationship with the recipient, which therefore means it should probably change. You shouldn't have a set one on your emails. There should be a different one according to who you're communicating with. So certain sign-offs apparently can lead to much higher response rates. So a major study analysed over 350,000 email threads to determine which closings generated the highest response rates. Results showed that gratitude-based closings yield a 36% higher response rate than non-thank you closings, with thanks in advance topping the list and best having the lowest response rate. Yeah, best. There are a few people, someone in here does best. I've seen that on somebody's email. Certainly not me now. So gratitude creates several psychological effects that increase response likelihood. So it's reciprocity. People naturally want to respond to positive actions with positive actions of their own. Social obligation. So thanking someone in advance creates a subtle sense of commitment. Positive impression. Grateful people are perceived as are generally perceived favourably. And an emotional connection. So expressing thanks establishes a human connection in digital communication. I've got a lovely little table here, which is absolutely lost on doing this orally, but if you want, gives you a list of professional scenarios, recommended sign-offs for each one, and why it works. So I'll share that on the group chat later. It's probably easier than me reading all of that. So the tips, apparently, to signing off a good email is pay attention to context. What is your relationship with the recipient? Do you know each other well? What's the overall level of formality in your company or your industry? So answering those questions will help you pick the best one from the table I'll send you later. Making sure your closing matches the greeting. So your sign-off should always align with the overall tone of your message. So if you start with hi and then with yours sincerely, you look a bit stupid. If in doubt, stick to a more formal closing. You can always go more casual afterwards. And apparently an inappropriate sign-off is just one kind of email mistake that can detract from your message. And also failing to sign off is another misstep to avoid. So make sure you do. And then there are several sign-offs to avoid. You might not be surprised by some of these, but apparently yours truly is a really bad one because you don't truly belong to the recipient, which can make yours truly seem insincere or forced. It's bad to just sign your name or an initial, because unless you're sending a very brief informal email, omitting the sign-off can be as if you're quite brusque and careless. Love is obviously worth avoiding. No. Depending on your email, I suppose. And the emoji as well. Emojis, they might be acceptable for some business communication, but better to leave them out of your sign-off because it can be quite informal and a bit ambiguous, especially if you don't know what the emojis mean, which would be me. Respectfully yours, apparently another no-no, very formal to the point of being stiff and aloof, so avoid that one. Have a good one is a bad one. Overly informal, better said in person than over email. This is my pet hate because this is what my line manager used to sign off for emails with when I was at work last year. Hope that makes sense. Which basically said to me, I think you're thick. Yeah, it can be considered a bit passive aggressive, so avoid that one. And finally, the other one to avoid is good luck. That can leave too much up to interpretation. Does it imply that the recipient needs luck, or is the task too difficult? So I'll forward that with you later because it'd be really difficult to just read it out loud. But hopefully, you're faffing around like me about which one to use. That might give you a little bit of clarity.
I hope on there it's, I hope this finds you as it leaves me well. Right. Next, membership matters in Terry's absence. It is my pleasure, overwhelming pleasure, to do an induction. Welcome, Sarah Smith, as a member. Well done, Sarah. And I've got lots of goodies for you here. I'll save you struggling around. There's your membership certificate. There is your little book.
Lovely.
There's a badge.
Thank you so much.
Well done. Right, okay. Most pleasant task of the day done. We move on, and we move on towards the 60-second round. And the 60-second round, as always, is judged by the person who won the Oscar this week. It was Dave last week, so Dave will be looking out. Now, the other, I realise now as I sit here with the bell, which I share with Ben, and the bell isn't here, that I need a bellman. Paul, could you do the honours, please? Thank you. So, Paul, the bellman, you will hear him. Let's just have a quick practice, Paul, after 50 seconds.
Well done. Very good.
And after 64, let's have one for that. I think we've got it ready. Okay, so let's get on with the round. Look at the kids, and the first thing I'm going to talk today, and then before that, by Paul Corrigan.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Dave Moore from Moore Limited. We're based in Brentwood and we specialise in flooring, coverings and tiling. Today I'm introducing our new product to our LDT product to our collection. This is the climbing patio. Just open this up. Where you've got some lovely colours here, guys. And tiling, and these are in a straight flat. You can get these in a straight flat, and you can get these in a herringbone, all for the same price. And the best thing at the moment, Carden, guys, is the great price you can get this for. You can get this for £22.99 square metre. So yeah, that's a new selection for our collection, guys. I'm Dave Moore for Moore for Limited, and we've got you covered.
Right, next up is Paul. You're going to
Morning, I'm Paul Corrigan from Solitaire Plumbing Heating, another failed engineer. So we just fed up now. No one's good enough for us. So we go back to roots. When we first started Solitaire, it was just me. So I took on Jordan, my apprentice. A couple of years later, he had his own apprentice, and I took on another apprentice. And a couple of years later, they all had apprentices. It keeps going on. In the end, it's like a pyramid scheme, of the apprentices, which is great. You end up with a team that just works so well together. Slowly, they've fizzled away, and I've tried to replace them with qualified engineers, and it's just not working. So we're going back to basics. We've got a new apprentice starting in September who looks immense. He looks so good. So fingers crossed. And we're also getting an older apprentice, Prince Harsh, as we call. So future's bright, hopefully. The future's orange, even though we're in blue.
Take on the whole team size.
No.
Toby's next. And he's followed by Mike.
Good morning, everybody. I'm often asked what is the secret to a successful business. It's quite simple. It's not a secret. But I think there's three things. First of all, having an absolutely crystal clear vision of what you want your business to do for you, so you can turn that into a plan, reverse engineer that into a plan. Secondly, be willing to delegate and to outsource. Too many business owners are spending too much time doing things that they shouldn't be doing, that they don't like doing, that they're no good at. You need to delegate, you need to outsource to people like Sarah. Huge advocate of that, as you know. And thirdly, make decisions. Doesn't matter if it's the wrong decision, just make a decision. Not making a decision can absolutely stagnate and stymie businesses. So yeah, if you make a wrong decision, doesn't matter. If you make another decision quickly, it's a complete 180. Conversation I had just this morning with one of the members here. Yeah, very much along those lines. So yeah, know what you want your business to do for you, delegate and outsource, and make decisions. Toby Acton, Pole Position Business Solutions, getting your business on track and put you in a winning position.
Thank you very much, Toby. More line for the 60 seconds. Excellent. Mike, you're next and you're followed by Clara.
Good morning, everyone. Mike from Blackpool Media. Well, I'd like you to imagine, if you possibly can, that you run an accountancy firm. Sorry, Paul, I'm not just going to pick on you, but the example for today. Every January, you get flooded with the same questions coming in. How do I present my receipts? What documents do I need for the tax return? How do I log into the online portal? You spend hours a week answering the same questions, replying to the same emails or the same calls with the people. Or you invest in a professionally produced client onboarding video. It's clear, branded, explains everything step by step with screen recordings, examples, and your friendly face on the camera. Every new client gets it automatically, staff don't need to repeat themselves, and clients feel more confident and looked after. As you can imagine, this is applicable to any business that faces the same FAQs of you all coming up to them all the time. So that's where professional video earns its keep. It saves you time, which lets you focus on other things. That's Mike at Blackpool Media. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Clara, and then you're followed by Sarah.
Morning, Clara Downton, Downton Mortgages and Financial Services. Continues to be a slightly tumultuous time, I suppose, in the mortgage market. We've been very busy over the last little while. I've been interested how many people seem to be selling their properties to their from their landlords to their tenants. It'd be interesting to see if that continues, but I think it definitely seems to be a trend I'm seeing. Rates have been creeping up a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And interesting to see what the Bank of England decide to do next. But overall, I think it is still a good time for people to be sort of making decisions and taking action. So this week I was chatting to a client who isn't due to have to remortgage until the end of September. We're starting to chat through, what she might be looking at, what her options might be, what sort of rates we're talking about, and all that kind of thing, so that she can really decide how she wants to go forward. So if you know anyone who's coming up to remortgage or thinking about moving, then get them to give me a shout. It's Clara Downton, Downton Mortgages and Financial Services.
Thank you, Clara. Sarah, you're followed by Catherine.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I've got some statistics this morning. I know it's a bit early for maths and you can't see it, but I'll kind of give you an overview. It's essentially what a virtual assistant costs versus an employee. So if you've got anyone that you know or you employ, an admin person, this table shows the costs of what you're paying them and what you would pay me. So an employee, if you pay them £12.21 an hour, which works out to over £22,000 a year, overall, including their holiday, national insurance, pension contributions, and a few other things like training and retained HR and IT that you need, overall that person's going to cost you over £66,000 a year. Whereas you don't pay me for my holiday or my sickness. And so at the same cost, I would cost you £33,670, which is a 50% saving on that goes, which is a pretty good cost saving to anybody. So salesmen, obviously assistant services, support that revolves around you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Catherine, you're followed by
Okay, Catherine Foley, English Tutor Plus. So I'm asking you this week if you know any secondary school teachers. They don't have to be English teachers, but they do need to work with sixth form. So whether or not they teach English themselves, they will be in a position to nudge any students that gently towards Essex English Tutor Plus if they are struggling or underperforming in English. I'm looking up GCSE tuition much more quickly than last year, which is fantastic, but I really want to keep some slots open for A-level because that's the bit that I really love. So if you do know any teachers, secondary school, please pass my name on to them and see if they can talk to any students studying English, because I'd really, really like to keep the A-level bit of business going. Thank you very much. English, I forgot the name again. Catherine Foley, English.
Howard, you're followed by Nick.
Morning, everyone. Good morning. Howard, financial advice. You may remember, you probably will, that for the last year or so, we've been doing an awful lot of inheritance tax planning. And a lot of that has been involving helping clients with investments to put them into products that qualify for business example after 2 years, but then they're going to get hit with inheritance tax. Well, one of the companies I deal with has issued what's called a rights issue. Don't need to know what a rights issue is, but what that does is if you've held one of these things for a couple of years, you can put more money into it and it gets instant inheritance tax relief. So we're putting money into that now. We're going to save, we're going to cost the taxpayer just under £400,000 in inheritance tax. So I apologise. But if you know anyone else who wants to take advantage of these types of things, get in touch and chat with me. Thank you.
Howard, Nick, you're next and you're followed by Darren.
Good morning, my name's Nick, I'm a structural engineer. That's what I tell people when I meet them, if they ask. Yeah, but what do you do? They say. Well, what I do, actually, I prepare structural design schemes for people who want to carry out alterations to their house, whatever it may be. I also carry out inspections for people who want to buy houses to make sure the house is in good condition. I also investigate problems for people who they become aware of a problem in their house and they want to perhaps make an insurance claim, but they're not too sure how bad or serious it is, so I do that. So that's what I do. My name is Nick, I'm a structural engineer. My cards are in the box somewhere. I've not seen the box this morning.
Is it actually?
Right in front of you.
I should have brought my card. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Darren, you're followed by Stuart.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Darren from Household Impact. A lot of businesses want to be doing more when it comes to reducing emissions, cutting waste, back to the green customer base, maybe giving back and doing more in their local community. But with everything going on, it's hard to know where to start or even if it's worth doing it. So that's where I come in. I run initial strategy sessions helping businesses spot smart, simple, achievable ways to go green and do more good. So for being such a nice welcoming bunch, in July I'm offering 3 free strategy sessions for members here. First come, first served. The only T's and C's is that you're buying the expensive coffee and the mid-range pastries. And what we'll do 1 hour, one-to-one-ish, and we'll do a summary and there's some action plans to come off the back of it, just to get you started, or I can go ahead and help you with some more like that. So if you are interested, I promise it's not all this and boring spreadsheets, it's practical action, stuff that any business can do. So if you're interested, WhatsApp me or come see me now. Thank you very much, Darren and Household Impact.
Thank you very much, Darren. Stuart, you're followed by John.
Morning, everybody. I'm Stuart from LT Networks. One of our favourite customers is Royal Opera House, who look after their site at Covent Garden and also their production centre, Purfleet.
last week at Purfleet, they asked us to come in and meet with Openreach to plan a route for 2 redundant fibre optics going into their main building. One going off to one exchange, one going off to the other exchange. So if anything should happen to one service, they automatic phone over to the other. It was, you know, you've all seen it, you know, where you go around and there's like 2 or 3 people looking down a hole. Last week, I think we set our own personal record of having 8 people staring down various different numbers of holes, trying to plan ducting routes from one exchange to the other. But we got it done. We surveyed the property along with, the client wanted us there with Openreach to make sure that we were representing them properly. So if you know anyone who's got interesting manholes that need looking down, sorry, person access things.
That's just made it even more misunderstood.
You're not interested in drains, though. Like that. John, you're followed by Joshua.
Good morning, everybody. John from Lockfit. A small percentage of my job is, unfortunately, not looking down holes, it's picking locks. So, the old school way of doing it, that you see in the movies, is where you've got the little pick. I think I showed this to you in 10 minutes. You have your little tension gauge on here that you have to turn and pick at the same time, and it's quite fiddly, and the success rate is not the best. But obviously technology moves on, and what I didn't bring in with me was the not pick gun. I know. Basically, this acts like the pick, because with some of them you have to rake them where you have to basically rake them like that. But basically what this does, it lights up and it I didn't have a screwdriver to actually tighten it. But essentially this vibrates very quickly and manipulates the pins inside the lock, and the idea being that it will work them and then you can unlock the lock-in quicker. So obviously I just like to bring in a little prop every now and again, so that's what I work with. And obviously if you need any help with fire doors, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm your man, John from Lockfit. Thank you.
What a brilliant piece of equipment. Thank you very much, John. Joshua, you're followed by Blake.
Right, I'm Joshua, JDC Studio, your resident architect. What I'd like to talk to you about today is the importance of the process. So what I say is if you've got someone who's looking for someone just to draw what they want, then it's best to refer to a CAD technician. But if you know people who want to work with someone who's going to take them on a process, you're going to have a conversation with them. And a lot of the way the conversations go that I have with my clients is through drawing, it's through mood board, it's through looking at inspiration, getting ideas, and ultimately looking at not just the problem that they brought to me, but other problems that they didn't know existed. Because I'm all about helping my clients unlock the potential of their properties and land. It's something that I enjoy doing, it's a passion of mine, so yeah, just remember, preferably active, JDC Studio, helping my clients unlock the potential of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Blake, you're following my favourite.
Morning everyone, Blake from Ammo Hive. Today I'm going to be a bit of an eco-warrior. Going to talk about a new feature that's come onto our website. Because we fire a lot of plastic BBs which sit on the ground, we fire a lot of cardboard that explodes. So the new feature on our website is if you purchase any product, you're going to be able to buy a tree. So offset your carbon, which Darren will like. There he is.
Just see me.
Yeah, so there'll be a product on its own. You can purchase X amount of trees, or if you buy a product, you can tick a little box and you plant a tree somewhere around the world. So yeah, we're going to our website soon. So hopefully you'll all use the little feature. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yours sincerely, Blake.
Hope we can find you at the end. All right, thanks, Dave. Dave Roberts now, followed by the end.
Morning, Dave from Brentwood, the electrician's based in Brentwood. I've probably told you this before, but LED lamps are not all the same. This particular one is standard. manual tap, then you can get like various different fittings. The main difference is when you're looking to buy one is the colour. So this one's a warm white, which is gives like sort of more like sort of cosy lighting, and they go right the way up to like sort of daylight, which is like a really bright white light, and in between as well. So on the boxes, it'll normally tell you this most particular one is warm white. The other thing to look out for is whether it's dimmable or not, because if you put a non-dimmable lamp into a dimmer, it will flash like mad and probably give you an epileptic fit. So this particular one is non-dimmable. So if you're going to use a dimmer, make sure you get one that's dimmable. So if you need any more advice or tips, please give me a call. Thank you.
You will be followed by a past call.
Good morning, everyone. I have sent down on a general chat a picture of a bathroom that I viewed the other day. It's with a property developer, and I want to ask you, what do you see in this picture? What do you see in the room? So I see the potential of a truly amazing family bathroom. I see the calming colours with plenty of storage for family use, somewhere to relax at the end of a busy day, and also the space that can take the wear and tear of family life. And it's not just the look and feel, it's the function too. Everything I consider when I'm designing a room, even down to can you clean it easily? You know, people that haven't got time to clean their homes, but it's got to be done. So these are everything I take into consideration when I'm designing a room. Now I'd like some introduction to some builders, please, and property developers and property investors. So if you do know anybody, please put them in touch with me. I can help them get a better return on their investment. That's Leanne Brooklyn Materials.
Paul,
Good morning, everyone. Paul DeRue from Essex Business Forum. We create personalised ceremonies to honour and celebrate moments of love, loss, and new beginnings. On Tuesday, I officiated a funeral that I've done, which was exactly as the deceased person wanted it. But how can you do that? If somebody's passed away, how do you know it's what they wanted? It's because this lady had actually taken the time to work out the music, the speakers, the poems, the readings, the people doing the readings ahead of time, but because she had a terminal illness and she knew she was going to be dying at some point. And that whole process that she sat down, I know from a friend of hers that helped her do it, it's hugely cathartic. But also for a family who were left with responsibility of organising the funeral, it made things so much easier. And so on Tuesday, we had her funeral and it was joyous. And people were smiling, they were laughing, they were crying, and but we came out of there and the sun was shining and everybody was absolutely happy and confident that it was what I was really wanting. This is what we do. Thanks very much. It's a
Thank you very much, Paul. Scott, followed by John.
Good morning, Scott from SEO. Inspired by the EdStop this morning, I thought I'd talk to you about A/B testing. It's a really simple, easy thing to do. A/B testing is quite simply, do I show this version of your web page or this version of your web page? You may choose to have a pretty man or woman using your product and visually representing whatever it is you want them to do, or you may have a much more technical, much more technical version without pictures, with a PDF download, and present that page randomly to your users and collect the statistics and let it decide, and the page will tell you more people convert, more people click the big red button with the pretty guy pointing at the thing than when you put lots of information on a page. That sort of thing, really easy to set up and do. If you're interested in doing the facts, figure out what works, what converts, I can help you with that. That's Scott, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Scott. John, you're next, and you're followed by Jane.
Good morning, everybody. I'm John Hammond from JMH Technology. What sets us apart from everybody else with their CCTV systems? Well, we've got a plug-in CCTV, which Scott helped to set up, which is a dumb email address. And it's dumb because these units cannot do the two-form authentication on email. But what it does allow us to do is when the CCTV goes wrong, we get told about it. and you get told about it. And therefore, you're not trying to find video evidence of something that doesn't work because you're told about it before the incident. And that happened this week. We got an email on our system saying that the camera failed at a client site. So I phoned them and said, do you know that the camera's failed? They said, I've got to. They still got the email, it got into their loads and loads of emails I get all day, and they missed it. We didn't. We phoned them up, we told them about it. We didn't have to go and do anything. Their maintenance guy went out and just made sure it was powered back up again. So that's me, John Hammond from JMH Technology, Prime Technology, just
Jane, you're next, followed by me, followed by Paul.
Hello there, Auntie Jane from the English Green Tea Company. I won't have it. Scone or scone etiquette is very important, and I see it being done wrong everywhere I go. So I have purloined one, and I'm going to ask you, do you cut it this way or do you cut it that way?
never.
So why are you doing that? The knife goes nowhere near it at this stage. Back away from the knife. It's all in the hands. It presupposes you haven't been tarmac-adding the roads at this stage, but you'll notice most stone sculls, and there's no right or wrong, don't worry about that bit, they grow in the oven with a brake line. And so that is your prizing area. Step one. Can you notice now cragginess? If you cut it, you don't get that. The cragginess is a lightness in the mouth. If you cut it, it smooths it off. You get something quite different. I'm so sorry. No. All ready for the whole cream jam debate. I thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Is it like the dumpling?
A dumpling?
A dumpling, you shouldn't cut it with a knife, you should always use
I've never heard that, but I'll go with it.
That's only far more interesting than what I'm going to talk to you about today. Terry's away. I'm standing in for him. I'm getting lots of his clients that I'm dealing with, lots of employment disputes. It's quite interesting because I tend to do the other side of preparing contracts and dealing with contractual issues arising. Getting actual frontline stuff is a good insight into seeing the problems working their way through. And although I do some, Terry does the bulk of it. So, TM law, we do on employment law. Make referrals of any type of employment law problem, whether it's preparing contracts or having a dispute or a settlement agreement. And you can refer it to either Terry or myself. We'll sort out who deals with it and how it's dealt with. So that's Aidan Squire from TM Law. And Paul is our final contributor.
Yeah. Morning, Paul Booth from Twin Culture Accountants, based in Brentwood. Part of what we do is help to save tax for clients, and that involves tax planning. So, for example, is a limited company, taxable profit £30,000, normally corporation tax of £5,700. With a little bit of planning, they've got the money, pay a pension contribution of £30,000, nil tax, and nil payment money into their pension scheme. Individuals can also save personal tax, not just in year, but there are many cases where after the year, it's not too late, you can actually make EIS or SEIS investments, and carry those payments back into the following year and save tax. So today I'm looking for people who are looking to save tax, either if they earn a lot or little. That's Paul Booth from Business Forum, minimise tax back in his world.
Paul, right, that's it. That's the end of the round. Dave, you've been listening. You make the award, please.
Everyone was good. Everyone was good. Yeah, Paul was going to go back to like patience again to Stuart with his 8-man ran a manhole, and to James, crumbly, look straight. Scone. Yeah, that's good, right?
It doesn't matter.
But there's one person who stood up for me, who's quite passionate about what he does and with his clients and stuff. And that's Joshua.
Yay.
Thank you very much, Steve. Dave. Well done, Joshua. That's it then, we move on. Next part of the meeting, we'll go to Scott. Meeting Secretary's report, please.
I'm going to remain seated, you just say about 6,000 or so of them. Could do more of them.
Okay.
What do you mean to do? More money passed, your referrals. Another reminder as well, whilst we're talking about recording, is people have been basically dealing with it effectively. There's a new bit in the website whereby if you're going to be away, you notify us. It's a really useful tool from our point of view. So if you make sure that whenever you're going to be away, you just go onto the website and fill it in. It's very simple, very easy like the rest of it. So yeah, moving on. We had a sort of synergy meeting. Paul.
We did. It was quite a small attendance because people were away, etc. There were three of us. Sarah's first meeting, so it's good to see her there. And we actually we turned it into some, well, I'd say, proper one-to-ones, which was good. So we each got a chance to talk properly about our own businesses. So always second Tuesday of each month, and I'll send the reminders out of the present time next week.
Thanks, Paul. One of the benefits of the Professions and Finance group is when it's a nice day, we sit outside in the garden of the pub and have a drink. If that doesn't get you there, well, right. I now move behind my jacket and represent Ben. Ben sent round yesterday an email that indicated upcoming 10-minute presenters, upcoming education speakers. So check with that, make sure you're aware of anything coming up for you. Today, you might not be entirely surprised to learn that Stuart is presenting for 10 minutes. Yes. He also filled in the bio sheet, and may I congratulate you, he's filled it in seriously.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did actually, it was last year's one, I forgot.
In that case, if it's good enough for last year, it's good enough for this year. So, he is Stuart Smallcombe, and it's today's date, and his business and development networks. His position is owner and director. The nature of the business is IT cloud services, and the business location is West End to South End. During the 10 minutes, he will cover whether it's changed or not. But his personal selection of 4 items: his best day out, a couple of beers, watching rugby with friends. His favourite band is The Cure, music for every mood. Favourite holiday location is Ibiza. Fun and sunshine, there's enough for everyone. Something to live by, really. And finally, a satisfying achievement: coaching Brentwood that's Brentwood Rugby Club, for the last 10 years. Well, sorry, the last.
What did you know? I do it.
It lasted 11 years.
Well, yes, 11 years. But you didn't know, I did that with Catherine's husband.
Well, you didn't work a finished sentence then. They'd all be really surprised if you did it with Catherine.
I will hand it over to Stuart. Stuart, take it away.
Morning, everybody. Okay, so there's a few new people here since we did since I last did a presentation. So I'm going to go back to basics. I'm just going to run you through who it is, what we do, why we do it, who we do it for, and that sort of stuff. So who are we? PUBG Networks, cloud service provider. We're a small but perfectly well-formed team. We have myself, the business was started by myself and my cousin Brett. We still as co-directors, still cousins as well. We've been running this business just over 20 years now. We still have very direct relationships with all of our clients. Okay, so we don't have a sales team as such. It's basically myself and Brett. We have a couple of girls to look after the provisioning. So when we've placed an order, they will do all the dealings with BT and Openreach and Virgin and all the network providers and Microsoft and all the security. They place all the product orders and make sure everything gets delivered to ready for installation. We have a team of installation engineers who will actually go out, do the installations if it's on site, do remote installations if it's software or whatever that needs to be done remotely. And then afterwards we have a couple of guys who look after on support sort of side of things as well. If anything, people need moves, any changes, problems occur, staff get hired, staff get fired, all those things require changes. We look after you with support afterwards, and we have Debs who looks after all our accounts and looks after all the money sort of side of things as well. This is us. There's a few more of us actually, but that's just happened to be in the office on the day we took the picture. So what do we actually do? Primarily, number one, I'll run through these in no particular order, but connectivity, internet services, basically. We will look after business internet services. They go from lease lines, which are dedicated fibre optic networks, typically a gigabit service now, up to 10 gigabit services or more if we need it. As I described before, a lot of houses can do resilient services, so if anything should go offline at any time, we've got backup. Full fibre broadband, we can do that. Business grade broadband, similar to what you see advertised on TV for home, but business. Sygia, which is kind of going, that's the old FTTC, you can't hold FTTC anymore, if you know that, so I've got to explain it. Wireless services as well, if you've got really remote site, we look after Allsett Golf Club, for example. It's too remote to get a copper or fibre in there, so we have a signal beamed in from a microwave link. LTE services, that's 3G, 4G and 5G services, we can do those as well. Not great, quite unreliable, but better, good for a backup. And bonded services as well, which is basically you stick a few different things together and get them all working together as one service. VoIP telephony, VoIP, voice over internet protocol. Your voice is as good as your internet. Okay, if you've got a good internet, you can have a good voice system. VoIP system's a really effective way of communicating. It's a telephone system, okay? Phone calls are being made less and less, but that's still a really effective way of communicating with your suppliers, your customers, internally with your team as well. Really scalable systems now, VoIP. You know, you can have the same system works if you have one user, if you have 1,000 users. Okay, it's exactly the same system, so really, really scalable. You can work from anywhere. I can work from my VoIP. If you look at my business card, there's no mobile phone number on there. I don't need to give my mobile phone number to customers and clients. Okay, one number follows me everywhere when I'm working from my phone, when I'm working from my laptop, when I'm sat at my desk with a desk phone. One number goes everywhere, works across all devices. Loads of features as well, really easy if you want to add in things like call recording or on hold features, anything like that, really easy to add those sort of things in. Cloud services, this is something we've added in about the last 18 months. So it's basically IT support, IT services. Okay, so we're now partners with Microsoft. We can support your Office 365 licenses, your Microsoft, your Word, your Excel, your Outlook services, your Microsoft Teams. We can do that. Security is now probably the biggest part of IT. Okay, actually just selling a license for Microsoft is really easy. The hardest bit is actually the security that goes behind it. Okay, we do not sell Microsoft licensing without our security products on it. We won't do it. Okay, so a customer comes to us, they will have to buy security from us, otherwise we won't engage with them. That's for our sake as much as it is for their. Big Defender is like your email security, your antivirus, that sort of stuff. And then is endpoint security, the actual devices. Restore data backup, like for example, if you use cloud services like HubSpot or Xero, or even if you use Microsoft 365, who's backing up your data? Because it's not Xero's responsibility to back up your Xero data. Did you know that? So if Xero lose their data, that's your fault, that's your responsibility. You have to have that backed up. Use something like Restore and we can back that data up for you. And obviously IT support, so it breaks, we'll fix it. Right? Business mobiles, pretty straightforward. We can supply business mobiles for all networks, O2, Vodafone, 3, you know, the networks. We can supply your hardware for Apple or Samsung. We have dealerships with both of those, and other ones as well. There are some like needs for robust equipment, that sort of stuff. As a managed account, so that's why I say we need really kind of like 5 and upwards on an account. Okay, because then we can load balance the data sharing and that sort of stuff. Simple billing, it all comes together. So all of these services with your IT, your internet, phones and mobiles, all that sort of stuff, all comes together on one simple bill. So who do we do this for? Those are all the services we provide. Who do we provide them to? So small businesses across London and the South East. That is the core of our business. Okay, we do look after companies all over the country. We look after Renault all over the UK. We look after chains of national care homes all over the UK. But the majority of our business is small, medium-sized business in London and the South East. West End to South East. That's where we want to work. Most of our business customers have between 5 and 75 employees. That's a great size for us. You get much bigger than that, then companies start to have internal IT departments and things like that, and we start to lose our point of difference. Single along to site, any vertical, that just means, show me a business that doesn't use phones, doesn't use internet, and then you probably can't help them. But other than that, pretty much everyone. One thought now is we do not do residential. It's a completely different market. We don't play there. Okay, so we are strictly business to business only. Why do our customers choose us? There's loads of people who do what we do. So why do they choose us? Because technology can be really tricky, can be really techy, it can be quite overwhelming. We keep it simple. Mainly because I'm quite simple. But we keep it simple. We don't talk techy. There are too many technical people that baffle business owners with tech. And it makes them feel uneasy, they don't quite understand it, and it can be quite condescending. We don't. We keep it really simple. One of the things we're really good at is keeping it really simple so people get it. Service, everyone says how good customer service, of course we do, because we're here, but service within telecoms companies generally is not good. That's the thing. Well, we know we're good because we've got a number of customers who've been with us since the start. We've got customers who've been with us for 20 years. Retention rate is 97%, which is really good, so we know our service is good. Knowledge, we've been doing it a long time, 20 years, we know what we're doing. We don't know everything, but we know pretty much everything that's relevant to what our customers need to know. We're trustworthy, and I say that because there's so many sharks in telecoms industries that hide, for a number of customers that come to us wanting to move stuff to us and then realise they've basically been shafted, thank you, into 7-year contracts that they didn't know about. They thought they were signing for 2 years, and they did on this, and this, but here they signed for 7 and have just been done. Don't do that, mainly because I just like sleeping at night. Life's too short, I'm not going to go around mucking people off, everyone knows where I live. And I like to sleep at night, so don't do that. Everything's nice and clear. If we're signing you in for 24 months, 36 months, it's right there. And we've talked about it, and probably because it's what you asked for anyway. And our overall value as well. Right, we're not the cheapest. No one's ever going to come to us because they want cheaper service. But because of all these other things, we do provide the best overall value. If someone's coming to us just to save money, we're probably not the right company for them, to be completely honest. If they value all this, then they will be happy with that. So, how to find some referrals for us, what to listen out for. Listen for businesses that are relocating, right? It's a really easy thing. If a company's moving from A to B, they are going to need the stuff that we do. They might just think, I don't need to speak to BT, or I need to speak to that. I'm happy to just have a 10-minute chat with someone. Okay, if the company's moving, same whether they're expanding, they're growing their employee workforce, or they're reducing. They're going to make business change, let us know, we can help out with that. Really common moans, slow internet. Loads of people still moan about slow internet, or they'll moan about slow Wi-Fi, slow internet, and not really understand the difference between the two. Let us know, because we can, again, just have a chat. people are worried about IT security. It's probably, like I said, IT security is the biggest part of what we do now. So if people are worried about that, then we have a chat. People are fed up with BT, that's great. It's the biggest referrer of business, and people just get fed up with BT and Openreach. People are confused with tech, overwhelmed by it, don't quite understand what they need or what they want. Get in touch. That's all I want. It's an introduction to have a 10-minute chat with someone and see where it goes. If something happens, great. If it doesn't, that's great too. And that's about it. If anyone has any time for questions, what's up? Is it by design that when you stood up, it said no signal on the TV?
And then I fixed it.
And then you came along and it was all automatic. Oh, that's very clever. I'll tell you, I've got it. My actual question was, what's SOEGA? From the single order general Ethernet access. I'll work for that, thank you.
Yeah, whenever we go out anywhere, we log into the Wi-Fi network, restaurants or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that's not always the safest, but is there any things that we should be doing or not doing or not logging into it? What are your thoughts?
Okay, technically no, it's not secure. If anybody on there wanted to get on and get access, then they could do. I always think security got to have a little bit of balance. I think if you're in like a massive hotel, you know, you're a lot more risky than you sit in a small business like that. Don't get Wi-Fi here. Generally, I don't, especially in the UK, you've all got unlimited data, right? Just use your own data. Yeah. If you're overseas, it's slightly different. But yeah, it's easier. Yeah. That's what it is. Go on.
And you mentioned Wi-Fi and doing over.
Yeah.
Is that like a portable unit? What is that exactly?
It's a wireless delivery of a signal. So it's not a portable unit, no. Yeah. So we would say everything was set up a music festival or something like that. We can basically stick a mast way into the air. Yeah. We will have a point of location, for instance, on the top of the tower at Brook Street there, and we'll that mast up in there. And once you get over the tree line, there's the line of sight goes everywhere. You know, you can go up and we'll find the signal and we will link into that, and then bring that down and use that to do the service. Yeah.
A lot of my work's in film and TV, and those units film on location.
Yes.
So it's like, is it literally turn up on a trailer?
Yes.
And you put it up, put it down in a day.
Yeah. 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 It's fun.
So I'm used to, in a hotel here or a restaurant, being able to use their Wi-Fi, get on. Canada, no. Still in hotels, even the Ritz and the posh ones will charge you for using their Wi-Fi. What's going on, and should you be relocated to Canada and sorting it out?
Why? I mean, that used to happen here, right? People used to charge, and then actually businesses realised it's actually far better for you to give that internet away. People will then sit there and they will post from Instagram from your restaurant, from your cafe, from your hotel. So actually the publicity you get from allowing people to use the Wi-Fi is far better than actually charging people to. Why they do that as well.
Sorted out.
Okay. Stuart, thank you very, very much indeed. An excellent presentation. More than that, and a reminder when it comes to doing the votes in September, that is how we use television to help you make your presentation, rather than making everybody try and read it and just reading what's on there. Really excellent, really.
See you, Dave.
Bye. No, I'm sorry, guys.
Right. Right, we're now going to do the referrals and testimonials round. Stuart can do the running. We'll start as usual with the North corner. Let's move from there, please.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine, for agreeing to the case slot. And Stuart, for you, otherwise, Stuart's looked after our stuff for 15 years, plus, for more than that. Always an excellent service any issue dealt with straight away, and hardly any issues. Thank you. One-to-one with Sarah and Aidan, and a couple of thank you managed.
That was great, Stuart. Thanks, mate. We've used Stuart for years. It's nice and easy. Very, very good. We like that head start. I'm deleting business from my email.
Yeah,
but,
notice that for yours, business.
yeah, sorry. I'll fix it. After we have a chat with Sarah, Leanne, Josh. John, I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Also, I find it very interesting people have people start emails as well. I always like a I or something like that. Some people just go Stuart, and I want to seems a bit hard. I've got a referral for David. Yeah, for that one for passing that out on Tuesday. That's been sent over to the client now. So
Okay.
won't see.
Thank you very much.
Let you know.
Cheers.
Really good, thank you very much. And then I'm looking more about portable Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi for clients. Thanks for the advocates earlier. And yeah, really good. I've got a couple of one-to-ones with Mike and Scott. And thank you, Scott, for some nice coffee of yours. What do I do with it?
Those I think is things.
Very much.
Amazing, excellent education. So, I just sign myself Nick now. I've been through all this regards, kind regards. You keep happy, man. I think consistency is the key. They're not happy with that, but you know, all they've been happy with. Brilliant. I have a referral for Joshua. This is for some architectural advice, expert advice and drawings for. But I think it's some kind of group operation for someone I know. And I've got a referral for Dave here for buying and flooring for my daughter and her husband. He knows about that. He's giving her a That's it. See you next week. Hopefully.
I'm going to look at this like interesting with Stuart. A good 10 minutes. We've used Stuart for our main phone line now for probably about the past 6 months or so.
Yeah.
And the changeover was seamless. We didn't change over. So thank you for that. And we just got Leanne's signature meeting last week. Thank you for that.
Fantastic 10 minutes, as well. Just as you say, really, you make a complicated subject much more simple. So yeah, it's always good to hear them. And great instruction. Yeah, I've spent quite a while on Google going, what's the right sign up for this? So I look forward to seeing the table.
Yeah.
And one-to-one with Darren. There you go, look, need to pull that down.
Thanks.
And one-to-one with you.
Thanks for this, Captain. I'll do kindest regards, but mine's all there. So. Is that okay?
It's not going to be as good as thanks in advance, apparently. Yeah, because it's got to be gratitude based.
And thanks for the 10 minutes, Stuart. I'm gutted I didn't know you 6 months before ABS because it's totally ruined and enormous. But yeah, nice one in 7 years as well. Don't mind. I've got a thank you for the money to Dave. And welcome Sarah as well. Thanks very much.
Excellent meeting as always. What an honour this. But I spend a disproportionately large amount of time working out how to sign off emails. It very much depends on the circumstance. I really think it's important. So I like that. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome to the family. And we should. I've seen you for 10 minutes, probably 5 times, 2 years. Still really interesting. Always, and what I love about the business, you're always kind of evolving and developing the business, the market does, and build us. I've got thank you for the money for Sarah still, so remember that. That's it. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, greatest lot. My sign off changes every time. Some people get a 2-letter F you off.
Oh, nice.
I'd love to use you for my internet, but BT are stingy and wouldn't get that 20-metre duct to us, so we're now on the 5G still. Which is awful.
Go play Rolls Royce if you pay for it.
Yeah. A thank you to my spending Hanging my name is Scott, Scott for Callum, who referred to through Joe, and a thank you to Scott, John, and Toby for social media.
See you next week. Yeah. Great meeting, and it's always good to see new members come in. Great, so this was really good for see how your business runs, and I'll have to have one-to-one with you actually, just have a chat with you. Great Ed slot. A bit like yourself, when people just say John, that used to really trigger me. I made my stomach churn, so I'm very particular about how I email people. I'm always in kindest regards until I get to know them. Then it's like, yeah, cool, see you later. But great meeting, and I'll see you next week.
Thoroughly interesting one-to-one with Darren during the week. As a result, I'm on that. Yeah, as a result of that, I introduced him to my big client, and I know that's a big process. See where they go with that. Had, as I say, a social. We played airsoft at the weekend, and all my stuff broke. So bought some more from Blake. It's a great referral on that one. Thank you to Matt, who is here, but also just to give you an influence. You can get more down there.
And said earlier, well, good to see you. It was excellent. You've given us a talking point, really, Catherine. I shudder at high, actually. That really gets on my nerves. So I do what was irritating John. I just put the name and finish it off with my name. But basically, I'm dealing with people on the other side in transaction. I really
with all due respect, it's a great lawyer.
Anyway, yes. So both good, really good meeting. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and pass on to Joshua. Yeah.
Thanks for the slot. I am very bad. I just have a set sign off that goes to everyone. I'll work on that. And I just find it funny, people tend to change my name without so, hi Josh. That's too familiar, but that's alright. And yeah, great meeting, great 10 minutes, very interesting. There's a lot of stuff that although I'm too small for your services, but still it's quite good for different things that was done. And had a property synergy group last week, which was really good. And yeah, look forward to seeing everyone next week.
So I just said for EBFers, I'll help out EBFers. Don't refer me to one-man bands and things like that. I'll help do EBFers now, but that's not what we're doing.
Okay.
We're happy to you guys out, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic meeting, really good. Really enjoyed that. My standard is kind regards and this beyond regards. As much as it changes.
No regards.
Yeah, no regards. Yeah, great 10 minutes. The production facility, the Royal Opera House one, I was found myself sitting next to Bob Manukian, who basically paid for that. He's like a multi-millionaire, fascinating guy, and his son as well. That's you. Yeah, just nothing to do with the 10 minutes, but just give you but has to give you some business.
His name's on the side. I always wondered how much you have to pay to get his name on the side.
He's like a multi-billionaire.
Yeah,
So, yeah, probably just pocket change. But yeah. So anyway, we digress. I have got. Thank you to Darren for some advice yesterday. Might be coming back to you on that. Got a panicking client. And I've got a T-shirt by the way.
Wow, Jaws, best film ever.
Very good. A referral to Blake, please. Because when we were playing Airsoft at the weekend, my battery failed. I lost my Xbox Fog X, absolutely clear. And we get them out. Sure, if anyone comes in. A referral to Blake for servicing my pistol.
Great.
Dosing meet up with Blake, Scott, and John. So And yeah, I hadn't forgotten the one with the synergy property thing. So I think for that, I think that's it. Oh yeah, welcome to Sarah, and more importantly, hopefully later today, welcome to the Wordle League. That's more important.
Notice that I was waiting for the formal bit first and then.
Thank you. Thanks for the welcome, everybody. You don't know what you've let yourself in for, so good luck. I've got a couple of referrals. I gave one to Mike for a photo shoot for my solitary client, bless him. So hopefully that will come on. And I also sent one to Clara, my former hairdresser, just went on her skills, just a location. She was asking for a mortgage advice, so I don't know if she reached out, but I certainly recommended you and tried to give you a big sell about how good you would be for small business owners and stuff. So yeah, that's it. And I want to run. Sorry, Leanne. Leanne and I had a meet up and discovered that we worked at the same firm almost, I think, at the same time. We just didn't go to an event, which was really, really good. And obviously the Synergy Group / one-to-one was really great. Singing the song, Apple highly recommend. And for the time being. Thanks everyone, have a great week. See you next week.
Great meeting. More Sarah to the group. We will definitely be using you on one holiday. We had a one-to-one social at the airsoft, obviously. Leanne, that synergy meeting was really good. Kobe, you won't give me some renters and landlords or something about vacant properties.
Oh yes, property probates.
Yeah. Thank you, money for Dave for the deposit for the interim lot. And I also got a thank you to Blake for the new hoodie. So I'll send that across. And I now know how to sign off problem contractors. Thanks in advance for being a prompter. I've got one more to
Thank you, that was really interesting. I like the PowerPoint. I mean, the contents was kind of lost on my non-tech phone, but beautiful PowerPoint. If anyone remembers my 10 minutes a few weeks ago, I was talking about GCSEs. One of the questions in particular was they had to write a summary of comparing two texts, but the skill they were being assessed for was inference. They didn't mention it in the question. They changed it. Not as a result of my 10 minutes, but anyway, from next year, they've changed it and they've got the word infer in the question. So I thought that's nice news today for if you've got children about to do their GCSEs, they're making it a little bit easier. Good. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Great meeting, great insult. I've actually used, I hope that makes sense before, so I'm never using that. It's more of, I hope that makes sense, and I put it right, rather than I think you're stupid. But anyway, now Steve does nothing, they're stupid, I don't. Yeah, one-to-one with Sarah, and welcome. Stuart, after hearing your 10 minutes, I know someone at Palmer Sisters who actually opened up an office in Chelmsford.
Yes.
So I don't know. Well, very outweighed.
Thank you.
Very good. I enjoyed that very much as well. Also, you've got a very nice manner. Very easy to listen to. And I especially like the slide saying how we could help you. It distilled it better for me.
Good.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Lovely. Catherine, this is a thank you for the money.
Oh, I should have said, my friend thought the brownies were amazing. You really cheered her up because she's having a really crappy time.
Oh, sorry. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you. Also, I really enjoyed that intro. I may be being over affectionate, honey bunny. I don't know what makes you think that. Siding with all my love, undying.
Just keep it to 3 kisses, Jane.
Oh, all right. In this house, in our house, instead of saying love you, we go, and George just goes, and he says that means go to hell. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Blake, can I see you after briefly, please?
Yeah, thank you for the insult. I'm a thanks generally, but maybe it should be thanks in advance. I haven't thought about that. And I do the does that make sense, but it usually gets followed by I can give you a call if not. Because often I do feel like I've bombarded them with a lot of information. So it's often, does that make sense? And if not, let's have a chat. So hopefully that's more passable on the rules, but I might have to rethink that one. Yeah, brilliant 10 minutes. Obviously, you've been helping us out for a while now, and appreciated. I think there's probably more of your services that we probably should be thinking about, so potentially more of a conversation there in future. First of all, I'm going to sort the house out, but you know, steps on my list at the moment. Yeah, Sarah, thanks so much for the referral. Haven't heard from it yet, but hopefully that will go somewhere. I think, what have I got? Oh yes, Mike, we talked so long ago about doing some videos. They are nearly there. The scripts will be signed off hopefully in the next week or so. So I am going to finally be in the point of going ahead. That's the fun and games of having to have everything signed off by compliance before I can do anything. So yeah, getting there, and brilliant synergy meetings last week, and really enjoyed that. Yeah, that's it for me. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Right, so where's Stu?
The winner has the choice of a wireless mobile phone desk charger, charger desk, or
a lease lamp,
or a bottle of wine.
If you're not doing it with straight work, then
This is Scott.
Right. It says John.
Me? Sure, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
the wine.
Very good.
Alcohol or charging.
Right. Stuart, thank you very much for your 10 minutes for your running the program and just drawing that. That brings us almost to the end of the meeting. As always, anybody got your announcements that they make game?
Hi guys, just a reminder, next week is the Synergy meeting straight afterwards, and we're discussing the 4 petrol pumps of business and A, B, C and D, and I'll go through them, but you've got to get rid of at least 2 of those. If you have clients that are giving you poor fuel into your business, you're going to have to axe them. Let's discuss that next week.
Electricity will help, will it?
Possibly.
Right, Paul.
Yes, the one for jobs, I think there's 1 of us all paid up, all good. Jones, I think we got 21 people again to do Jones' event. Just a reminder to pay, obviously paid them. And if anyone wants to come for
it. Anybody else?
Yeah, what was I going to say? Come out today. Oh, no, me. Well, it's the condition of the referral effects out this morning, which was Mr. Matt Harry. Please take this and like, subscribe, share it. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Right, yeah. I actually, I did have some homegrown peas and they were pots and it reminded me of you. Right, it's a beautiful day. We've had a wonderful meeting. I want you all to come back next week and some more so that we've got a bigger meeting. See you next week.